As you may be well aware of, yours truly, the Reverend Pat D, has been fucked over and treated like shit and discriminated against his whole life, along with the uptight sacks of shit control freaks who have deprived me my basic right to freedom of speech. But at long last, I had a major breakthrough recently because I was able to get my very own show in the Fringe Festival called I Have Asperger's, What's Your Excuse? Here's what critics said about my show. Cody writes, just horrible. I can't believe I paid money to hear someone complain, swear, and act very childlike. I like to point out that the word believe is misspelled. He goes on to say, this is the worst thing I've ever seen in my entire life. It's not any kind of story. He's bitching like an old lady. Don't waste your money, people. That is fucking amazing. I went from being childlike to bitching like an old lady. I keep telling people not to waste their money by going to poetry slams, but they do it anyway. Someone who is one of the best spoken words artists in the entire world, such as myself, constantly end up getting the lowest scores from the judges, while most people who get the highest scores spout out a bunch of pretentious stream of unconsciousness drivel, and people give them a high score not because they like it or understand it. Actually, they don't. But they think that because they pretend to like it and understand it, everyone will think that they are so deep, sensitive, and intellectual when it's all a bunch of bullshit that makes no sense. Meanwhile, my spoken word is funny, refreshing, honest, and entertaining, but so many people don't want to hear that. Veronica writes, I wanted to be a poet, but there wasn't. What a stupid, uptight, retarded fucking cunt.
It's part of the course. Keep going.
I didn't spend all that money to do a show that didn't have a point to it. Someone else said the emotions that evoked were disgust, pity, and embarrassment. I don't want any fucking pity. Now here's what someone said about my show who has their brain cells functioning. The Reverend Pat D is a known figure in the spoken word community for his profane rants on topics such as reincarnation, abortion, mental health, and diarrhea.
Buffets!
Buffets, yeah. Most open mics have time limits, so we've only heard small bits of Pat's unique worldview, and pieces never seem to fit together. In contrast, this is true outsider art. Deep, vulnerable, fiercely proud of his alienation from society and commitment to crude material, Pat paints a vivid picture of life behind his eyes, punctuated by occasional departures from his script. His voice softens and we see Pat for the first time, not as a character in his own story, but as a human being. Hilarious, offensive, raw, strangely charming, and absolutely captivating. Anyway, the name of my Fringe show said it all. And to those who still don't get it or understand it or like me, well, it's because I have Asperger's. What's your excuse?
Yeah.